What's up, guys? Not going to be doing a whole jam sesh here at the beginning, right? But I wanted to talk to you something today that I've noticed a lot of guitar players struggle with, even more advanced guitar players, and that is your picking hand. And I'm not necessarily talking about dexterity and ability. I'm talking about using it in like an emotional sense, right? Our right hand is controlling the rhythm. Our left hand is controlling the pitch. If you're a lefty, it's the other way around. So let's just say you might be playing the riff right, but you're not really playing it right. You know what I mean? So we're going to look at two examples today. They're both classic rock songs, okay? And they're both in the key of A. I'm in standard tuning if you want to play along. By the way, guys, I'm using an amp sim, so my tone is a little weird today, but I don't think it's bad. You know, we're running with it. But the two songs I want to look at are perfect examples of how a guitarist is able to create a certain feel with their right hand. And I think they're two great examples because I hear people play these riffs wrong all the time, right? And I think this all started, both these songs, I'm using classic rock songs here because these are like before the metal era. And I love metal, right? But I do think guys like James Hetfield, they kind of created such a sound that is so on point with the rhythm. And those type of players became so popular, as great as they are, as great as Hetfield is. I mean, right? He's one of the best rhythm guitar players of all time. But he's very much on the grid. Right? A lot of that. Or, you know, alternate picking. But one thing that James Hetfield is not, he's not funky, okay? You could argue some of their grooves are, right? I don't want to really get too much into them because I'm not dissing them. But, you know, what I'm trying to say here is the funk influence is a big part of rock. Even when you look at bands like Led Zeppelin, right? They're a funky band. I'm not saying they make funk music, but there's definitely like a more groove kind of an aspect, right? Okay, so here's the first one we're going to look at. A little Ted Nugent song called Stranglehold, okay? Now, look, Uncle Ted, not a lot of people know this. Great guitar player. So we're going to look at Stranglehold. We're going to look at the wrong way to play it first, okay? Okay, now that is right. The notes are right. I'm not saying I'm playing it perfect, but I'm going to look at what, in my opinion, is the best way to play it. And keep an eye on my hand. Keep an eye on what I'm doing here. Okay, here is how to break that down. In the first one, I was going a lot down picking. But what you really want to do is think of your hand going like this. So if you really want to lock in and get a better picking hand, mute the strings with your left hand and just work on doing this. So really what's going on here is it's a lot funkier, right? So you want to move. It's like you're almost kind of thinking like a drummer now, okay? And this part right here, this one I see a lot. People go, it's not like that, guys. He's not a metal player, okay? If you're doing rock, try to avoid this. Be a little funkier, okay? Go like this. There's a little more movement there, a little more dynamics. And like I said, I'm using an amp sim, and it's not like a great amp sim, so a little of my dynamics are a little lost here in the recording, but I think you will probably get the point, right? It's almost like when you're doing the downstroke, you're kind of exaggerating, right? And you're not going, you know, be a little funky with it. Have some fun with it, all right? So the next one I also see wrong a lot. It's a Van Halen song. It's called I'm the One. It's kind of a similar riff. You know, we're in this, A pentatonic box here with the open A. So this would be the wrong way. Right? Okay, this is the right way. Now we're looking at this hand. Okay, we're looking at this hand. We're going to ignore that fast part of the end because that's not important to what I'm saying. Unlike the other one where I'm kind of exaggerating the downstrokes a bit and the alternate picking, I'm really the upstrokes. I'm going, notice that? And it adds the dynamics, like I said, right? It makes the sound, has a little more groove to it. Especially when you're playing by yourself. You'll get really good sounding when you're just jamming by yourself. So that's a good way to practice this one. Go. That's the lesson, guys. So, with being a musician, man, something that gets lost in, the era we're in is subtlety, right? Subtlety is essential, really, in most types of music, but especially rootsier ones like, rock and roll. Let's say hard rock, classic rock, whatever you want to call this. And I'm not, this is for any genre, really. And any sort of guitar playing is, don't always worry about the exact notes. I'm not playing this stuff perfect here. I messed up a lot. It is what it is. But really lock in, listen to the song, pay attention to the feel, listen to how things are moving, right? Like I'm the One, you got to lock in with that rhythm section, man. If you're playing a cover gig, you're going to stick out if you're doing that riff right. So something I've noticed, I think it's important. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I got 2 shows coming up here soon. I got Kruiser at Zen West in Baltimore, Maryland on the 28th of March. We go on at 7 o'clock. Tickets linked below. I'm also in a Zeppelin tribute. We don't do a lot of shows, but we got one on April 11th at Angels Rock Bar in Baltimore. So I'll also leave that below. Thank you, guys.